Hey guys, this is Sandy again, your Central Florida Airbnb real estate agent. Okay, so if you're thinking of doing an Airbnb in the Disney area, Disney Universal SeaWorld area, I have a few properties that I do Airbnb within that area. I'm very knowledgeable of that, and I help a lot of buyers and investors come in and get their first Airbnb started, or second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th, 11th, whatever one you're going to do, right? So today I'm doing a video on how to make your Airbnb profitable. What are some of the stuff that we could do to make our Airbnb really profitable, right? What are some of those things? Well, one of the first thing you want to do is managing an Airbnb takes most of the expense, right? So property management, people you got to pay to do all kind of maintenance stuff, people you got to pay to run out to take care of any kind of emergency, that kind of thing. So that's what's going to eat in your profit. So how do we automate some of these things so it doesn't eat in our profit, right? Well, the first thing we want to do, and I have a few videos on YouTube on this, is you want to automate your Airbnb, or you want to make your Airbnb a smart property. So you definitely want to have your smart locks where you could change your codes from anywhere. You want to have a smart thermostat where you could change the temperature from anywhere. You want to have cameras so you could see who's going in and out of the property. You want to have noise aware so you could know if there's a party going on in the property. You want to have the new technology that we have now where someone open any of the exterior doors or windows and leave it open, the thermostat will shut itself down, the AC will shut off, and it will not come back on until they close the windows or the doors. And if you're offering pool heat, you want to make sure you could turn that pool heat on from anywhere you are, anywhere in the world. You want to have that automated. Also want to have your pool timer automated so you could turn it on and off, right? So those are the basic stuff. Well, now they're basic. Let's get into the more nitty-gritty part of this. So you have to make sure you're maintaining your property, right? So you don't want an emergency. So what are some of the stuff we could do? Some of the stuff we could do is we could have a home warranty insurance on the property. What's a home warranty insurance? A home warranty insurance is different from your homeowner's insurance. The home warranty insurance covers stuff like your appliances, your HVAC, your AC system, your washer, your dryer, and some electrical and some plumbing, right? So if you have all that on the home warranty and something breaks, you'd call your home warranty company and they'll send someone out to fix or replace it. Now the thing is with the home warranty company as well, sometimes they might take a little bit of time to get there. And sometimes it could work in your favor or work against you. In other words, let's say you had a guest that just checked out and you check the property and realize something isn't working, but your next guest don't check in until a week or two after, then you could go with the home warranty company. Now, if you had a guest in-house and they call and said the washing machine isn't working, that may be a little bit tricky. But what I would do in that situation is I would offer the guest laundry services and still call the home warranty company and have them come out and either fix or replace that machine. But in between the guests waiting, I will offer them maybe a laundry service. There's a lot of laundry services out there that offer 24-hour pickup. You send your laundry, they pick up the laundry and then they drop it back off. If there's a laundromat nearby, maybe you could offer a pickup service there or something to that effect. Have your cleaners pick up the laundry from the guest, get it to the laundry, drop it off, and pick it back up, that kind of thing. So even though the home warranty company is not an instantaneous thing, whereas you could call them today and say, hey, my stove isn't working, and they might give you an appointment 2 days from now, there are ways to work around that, right? So you're not coming out of pocket with this big expense. Because if the guest called and said, here, the washing machine isn't working, for an example, you don't want to go buy a washing machine, right? That's a big expense. And you may not have an handy guy that knows how to fix the appliances. That's why the home warranty insurance will come into play there. So that's one I would definitely have in hand. Another thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you're consistently maintaining your property. You want to make sure you're changing your AC, especially if you're in the Central Florida area, right? You want to make sure you're changing your AC filter every 30 days. Every 30 days, you got to change the filter. Even if the filter says it lasts up to 90 days, because of the consistent in and out of guests in the property, even for your own home, you want to change it every 30 days. Now with Central Florida, HVAC is a big deal, air conditioning, right? Not having air conditioning in Florida is like not having heat in the winter months in New York. So you don't want to play like that. So you want to make sure your air conditioning system is completely maintained. The filter has to be changed, and you have to do the some people say put an ounce of water and vinegar. Some people say bleach. A lot of builders, because I'm a real estate agent, a lot of builders does not believe in you doing the bleach. They believe in you doing the water and vinegar. but there is water and vinegar that you pour through your HVAC line to keep the line clear, and you do that every 30 days, right? To keep the line clear and draining. Another thing you want to do is you want to have your cleaners, if you're self-managing or yourself, you want to make sure you want to go outside, you want to make sure you pay attention to that drip line. The drip line is normally very close to the condenser, and that's the line that keeps the line clear when the AC is operating and running. It's that's what the fluid goes through, right outside to the ground. So if your drip line isn't dripping, it means your line might be clogged, and you want to pay attention to that, right? You don't want, because if the drip line doesn't run, the line is clogged, it's going to freeze up the system, and when the system is frozen up, you're going to unthaw it, and that's a lot. So that's a big deal. If you're in areas, colder areas like New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, Boston, those kind of areas, you want to make sure that your furnace or your boiler or whatever you call it, your heating system, I used to live in New York, right? Your heating system is completely maintained. So there's some things that you could pay extra attention to make sure that you don't get any surprises, right? If the cleaners are sending you pictures saying, hey, this is what this is looking like, or this is what that's looking like, pay attention to that. If the guests, there's sometimes guests that will say, hey, we just checked up, but we want to bring these things to your attention, pay attention to that, because the more you maintain the property, the less surprises you will get. Now, if you have a home and you have to cut the grass, right, you have a lawn guy, you want to shop around and get the best deal for your lawn guy. You don't want to get the cheapest one, you don't want to get the most expensive one, but you want to get the most reliable and most budget friendly one to cut your grass. It typically, I would say, between 100 to like 150 per month, based upon your area and how big your lawn is, to cut your grass. Pool maintenance is a big deal. If you're in Florida and you're advertising a pool home, or wherever you are advertising a pool home, you want to make sure the pool is maintained. You want to make sure someone is going to that pool and maintaining it once a week. The worst thing you could have is a guest walking into a green pool, so you want to make sure that's maintained. If you want to make sure you have somebody checking that pool once a week, and you want to make sure the pool guy is going out there to maintain that pool once a week, right? So if, let's say, the cleaner went out and they were cleaning the patio furniture, and you're like, oh wow, this pool is looking a little bit green, you want to get on that immediately. That's a big deal. Pool maintenance weekly normally charges, I would say, anywhere from, again, 70 to maybe 150 a month. I know that's a big gap, but it depends if you have a townhome with a pool as opposed to a 6-bedroom house with a bigger pool, right? Depends upon the size of the pool, if you have a spa with the pool, that kind of thing. Now, a lot of times people ask me, what's better to do? What property do I make the most money from? Would it be a condo, a townhome, or a pool home? In the Central Florida area, if you're buying around the Disney area where we are, I would definitely, my first choice would be a pool home, right? And it's based upon your budget, but my first choice would be a pool home. And this even gave me more reassurance during COVID. Because during COVID, when the parks were closed down, people were still coming here. They were trying to get away from the winter, right? So people from the colder states were still coming here. And the first thing they wanted and they asked was, they want a pool home. They want a pool. They didn't want, during COVID, no one wanted to go to the community pools. And the community pools were closed down in any event if they even wanted to go there. So the pool home is number one. After the pool home, I would say if you could get a townhome with a pool. There are some townhomes that offer a pool, a little splash pool. But guess what? The kids could go in the little splash pool and they could splash around, right? So if the townhome itself has a pool, that's great. If it doesn't have a pool, I would suggest, if you have a big enough patio, I would put a hot tub, right? If there's a big enough patio, I would put a hot tub there. So that way, trust me, I know it's Florida and you're probably thinking, what are we talking about, a hot tub? It's hot. No. A lot of people come and use hot tubs and the spas here. Trust me on that. So if you had a townhome and you had a big enough patio where you could put a hot tub because you don't have a pool, I would suggest that. Now, if you have a townhome and you have a pool in the townhome and you have space for a hot tub, I would do pool and hot tub. Now, that townhome will be making a lot of revenue because that's what people are looking for. Now, if you have none of that and you only have, let's say you have to go to a condo, condos are great. Just make sure if you're going to go condo that you're buying the condo in a resort style development, right? I'm talking about making the most out of your money. I'm talking about getting the most money for your property. If you have a condo and you're in a resort style setting where there's a lot of different things, like they have the a beachfront pool, they have a bar, they have a restaurant on the premises, they have tennis court, basketball court. Some of them even have a movie theater, and believe me, some townhome and home developments do have those as well. But if you're going to go to condo, you want to have more amenities, because remember guys, when people come to Disney, they don't stay in the park all the time. They're going to be, sometimes they're just going to want to chill at wherever they're renting. And if they're doing a Airbnb, it's telling me that they want to have more of a chilling time or more of a time at the property, because if they're going to spend most of their time at the park, they probably would go with a hotel, right? So, and depends upon the number of family and stuff like that. But if they're doing a Airbnb, I'm thinking they want more of a homey feel. So you want to make sure they have as much amenity as possible. So again, it's going to be a pool home number 1, a townhome with a pool number 2, a townhome with a pool and a spa if possible, a townhome with a spa only if you have enough space for on your patio, or a condo with a lot of amenities in the resort. Okay, so this is how you make it. You're making your Airbnb more profitable, because you are putting it in a location. You're buying something that people want, right? So the more people want it, the more bookings you're going to get. The more bookings you're going to get, the more money you're going to have. And then once it starts to get all this money in, now how do I not put all this money out in my expenses? So one of the ways of not doing that is having everything maintained, making sure your pool is maintained, your lawn is maintained at all times. You have a home warranty insurance to cover any appliances, some electrical, some plumbing. Your HVAC, big deal. Make sure that's completely maintained. Filter is being changed every 30 days. You're clearing the line. You're having someone clear the line every 30 days. It's very easy. So either you or your property management crew or your cleaners could do that. It's very, very easy. Keep that line clear. Let someone check that line to make sure that water is always dripping, right? The line comes outside. It's normally near the is that the condenser or the air angler unit that's outside, right? And there's normally water dripping. The more water that's dripping, the better it is for your system, because that means the system is clear. If the water is not dripping that much but the AC is going crazy, then something might be wrong with the line, because most of the time when the AC goes on is because the lines are clogged. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. You also want to have an AC company come out every 6 months and check your HVAC system. Just do a general maintenance every 6 months. Every 6 months, general maintenance for your HVAC system. Definitely want to change your filter every 30 days. Want to make sure you clear your lines. You put something through that line, vinegar, water, bleach, whatever. I don't know. I'm not an HVAC person, just saying the line's got to be cleared. Also, you want to make sure you have a pest company. Pest companies typically charge $30 to $50 per month. They come out once a month to do pest control, because you don't want to have any issues with pests. Last thing you want is for some guest to send you a picture of a roach crawling on the road, not on the road, on the floor. You don't want that. You definitely don't want this. You want to definitely make sure to take care of pests. If your cleaners are cleaning and they're saying, "Here, we're seeing little pests," you want to jump on that immediately, right? Like, you don't want to play with that. Another thing is, if you have a fridge, one of the smarter the fridges with the 2-door, 3-door, 4-door, all these fancy fridges these days, make sure you're changing your filter, right? Make sure the filter is being changed when it should be changed. So all these things are things that will help you to, also if you have granite. If you have granite counters, make sure you're sealing the granite counters every 3 months. These are just little things that if you keep them, if you have like a little schedule and you put each property on the schedule and you put what needs to be maintained each time, you'll be fine. Like on all of I have a schedule. The 1st of the month, there's certain things that got to be done. The 15th of the month, certain things got to be done. Every 3 months, certain things got to be done. Every 6 months, AC guys got to come out. They got to clear the line, not really clear the line, but make sure the lines are clear and make sure the system is maintained. The video is getting a little bit lengthy. So much more I could say. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. I get calls all the time. 407-791-4713, or send me a text. That's my direct cell, by the way. And remember, if you're thinking of buying a Airbnb property in the Central Florida area, anywhere around the Disney World, Sea World, anywhere around here, we will be happy to help you. Okay? Thank you guys so much, and I will see you on the next video.